Hey guys, long time. Hasn't really been much going on with Apple, so haven't had much to post about. But today I'd like to talk to you about something actually exciting. Coming from Samsung, the Galaxy S10, which will be replacing the S9 later next year, is going to be such a revolutionary and big change to the smartphone. It's going to completely leave Apple in the dust in terms of technology. So don't get me wrong, the new iPhones are great and everything, but they're not really great innovations. They're just small improvements to something that was already great. The Galaxy S10 is looking to change that. It's going to be a night and day difference from the Galaxy S9, one of the biggest leaps in smartphones to date, and I don't think we'll see one this big for a very long time afterwards. So let's talk about what's going to change everything we know about the Galaxy S10 and which ways it's going to dominate Apple with. So I'd like to start by saying the designs that we're portraying in our concept are all prone to change. Actually, this is what happened. We would design a smartphone, model it, render it. Next thing you know, there's a news article that, oh, this is going to change. This is not going to be this way. So
first off, we had a headphone jack. There's rumored now not to be a headphone jack. We had a triple lens setup in a vertical orientation. Now it's rumored to be horizontal. We had a notch at one point. We had cameras on opposite sides, just like a bunch of stuff. So this really gives you the scope of how much the Galaxy is going to change next year. There's truly going to be a lot of change. So I wanted to start with the lineup in general. Samsung is seeing what Apple is doing with the iPhones, the iPhone XR, XS, XS Max, and they'll actually be splitting up their lineup in a very similar setup. So there's rumored to be the Galaxy S10, the S10 Plus, and then an all-new, cheaper sort of budget end model to compete with the iPhone XR. So there will be three sizes of the new Galaxy S10 series. And internally, these devices are codenamed the Beyond 0, Beyond 1, and Beyond 2. Now, as far as display sizes go, there will be just two, 5.8 inches and 6.2 on the Galaxy S10 Plus. Both the S10 and the cheaper XR competitor will have a 5.8-inch display. So what this means is that the phone will actually be getting smaller, and that's because of a design change. You may have heard or seen around the internet, there's a lot of talk about the Galaxy finally going bezel-less. So the chin area and up top, the notch will all be gone. Well, there's no notch, I mean just this bezel area up here, it will all be eliminated for a uniform all-screen design. How can Samsung be achieving this ahead of Apple? Apple has this crazy amount of resources, crazy amount of R&D, but yet Samsung's delivering on that first, and I think that's going to be so great for them, sales-wise, just pushing the technology envelope forward. Before I delve deeper into that design change, I wanted to mention some materials and colors. So the Galaxy S10 will now have 4 colors, and of course, most of these are limited to regions, so in America, we may just get 2, a black and a white option, and I'll tell you about why in a second. The other colors are rumored to be yellow and green, so like a deep sea green that we've seen on other devices. Moving on to that design, I think the biggest thing the Galaxy S10 has going for it actually means a lot of change in many areas on the phone. Now, because you're not having any more of those bezels on the top or bottom, that means things do have to change with the iris scanning, with the way you unlock your phone, with the earpiece itself, and really there's going to be some huge shifts here. So this is what the Galaxy S10 is actually going to look like. There's going to be a camera on the left side. This is the Infinity O display that Samsung actually demoed at their event just recently. There were a variety of displays, and this is the one that they have chosen to release with the Galaxy S10. So it'll be a little tiny camera up in the top left area of the Galaxy. So we actually rendered it on the right in some of our scenes. Don't let that fool you. It will be on the left side, although it's rumored that there may be a dual lens setup on the top end S10 Plus, so it's possible that there could be one on both sides, although I do not see them doing that ever. And ET News is reporting that Samsung has begun development of the Infinity O display with a launch time frame between December and March of 2019. So it's something certainly possible. They have the technology to do it, so it's very likely we will. And to give you an early look of this display, there are many first looks. Now, the actual display is rumored to happen on an A8 S series device from Samsung before the Galaxy S10, so that'll give us an early look at this technology. There have also been a lot of screen protector leaks of the Galaxy S10, which shows a completely bezel-less design with just a little tiny notch up top on the screen protector for the earpiece itself. So it's probably going to be a very condensed little tiny unit up towards the top. There's also rumor that there won't be a headphone jack. For whatever reason, Samsung will be joining the ranks of all these smartphones that don't have one. likely just to free up some extra space inside of the device for other things, more battery capacity or whatever. So it finally may be time to let go of the headphone jack, although I feel like it would be such a legend if it finally pulled through with one and all that new technology as well. And because of this huge design change to the Galaxy S10, you're gonna have to fundamentally unlock it in a completely different way. And what way makes more sense than an under-the-screen fingerprint sensor? Iris scanning will no longer be happening on the Galaxy S10. Of course, it's being replaced with the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. Taking a look at the back of the Galaxy S10, they no longer need a fingerprint sensor, so it'll be easier just to optimize in a horizontal triple lens camera layout. And yes, it's rumored that the Galaxy S10 Plus series will have triple lenses. A third lens will be added to make 3D scanning of objects easier, more realistic AR, and this will be a 16 megapixel camera with a 120-degree ultra-wide angle lens. And early on, there might be two side by side or on opposite sides of the screen. I personally don't see there being an elegant way to incorporate two cameras without having a bezel area, so I don't know how that's going to be, if that's even true, but it's very likely there will be just one camera on the front. It's going to be powering this beast, the Snapdragon 8150 processor. It's rumored to be releasing early December, and it will be an octa-core processor very similar to the new Exynos 9820 processor. So one core will be the strongest at 2.8 gigahertz, 2.842 to be exact. Then there will be 3 cores at 2.4 gigahertz and 4 cores at 1.8 gigahertz almost. It's supposed to have a 6.7-inch display, again all screen. It might incorporate 5G technology. It would be called the Beyond X, and it would have 6 cameras overall, so 2 on the front and 4 on the back. It just seems more of a concept device than reality, although the rumors do say that it will be releasing. And something interesting I wanted to mention is the new Samsung One UI, likely shipping with the new Galaxy S10 devices. So it's Samsung's take on a completely clean and stock-looking skin for Android that removes any clutter, any distractions, and just gives you a very clean and fresh perspective on Android. I think Apple should make a very similar mode. It's really cool, actually looking at the advantages of it. Basically simplify your setup overall. And as for release date, the Korea Herald is saying that Samsung is eyeing a January release at CES. So releasing this thing possibly a month to a month and a half in advance of last year's Galaxy S9. Guess that'd be pretty cool. So there it is, the Galaxy S10, everything we currently know about it. I personally do appreciate and like the idea of a camera cutout off to the side, not a notch. Certainly a fresh perspective, fresh take on this. Here it is, the Galaxy S10. So let me know what you think. Personally, I love it, and I hope that it forces Apple to update their iPhone design to make it just as sleek. This is competition, and it's always good in the mobile smartphone game. So as soon as Apple slows down, Samsung picks up the slack, it'll certainly force Apple to start thinking big again. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Something different, and I'll be back at it with the Apple videos here soon. Peace.